Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Grooming by Rudy Podcast. In this episode, we're going to be discussing 5 common popular breeds of dogs that we're seeing a lot of in the shop here. And we're going to talk about a couple of things you should look out for. And we're also going to rate their groomings as far as difficulty is concerned, between 1 and 10, 1 being the lowest maintenance and 10 being the highest maintenance. We got all of that coming up in this episode of the Grooming by Rudy Podcast.
You're listening to the Grooming by Rudy Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Grooming by Rudy Podcast. As always, we are your hosts. I'm Rudy V, along with my son Anthony Ray, and we want to thank you guys for tuning in. Ant, how you doing today?
I am ready to talk about some breeds. I love this topic. This is really cool because this is like an ever-changing thing. Sometimes there's certain breeds that show up more. Sometimes there's other breeds that show up more. So this is a cool topic. I like this.
Absolutely. And there are so many breeds out there that, I mean, this is just 5 of them that we're going to talk about, but we're seeing a lot of these in our area here. So, but the joy of dogs is that there's just so many different breeds, and they all have like a unique purpose, and they're all adorable in their own way. So yeah, it's just, the uniqueness of each breed is really cool.
Yeah. There's so many breeds, and like you just said, this is only 5 of them. There's a lot more, obviously, that I'm sure that you've seen, but these are like real common ones that we actually see coming through our door a lot at the shop, and so that's why I like this topic so much, because since these are the most common breeds that we see. Any of you guys out there who have these breeds, you might find a lot of helpful tips in this episode too, as far as the upkeep goes. And rating systems are always fun. We should do ratings more often as far as grooming, upkeep, and all that, the difficulties.
Yeah, I'm going to have fun with the rating system here, but let's get right into it. So number 1, we're going to start off with the adorable Shih Tzu. Guys, very popular breed, right? We see so many Shih Tzus. Why? Because they're freaking adorable, especially as puppies, right? Have you ever looked at a Shih Tzu when you go to buy one, or you even adopt one or something? Just that cute hair under the eyes and their little bopping walk that they always have and their little bangs. Okay, what could we look out for with that hair under the eyes? Okay, this is a common problem. I haven't ever groomed a Shih Tzu who doesn't have under the eye problems because of that hair. Reason being, that cute little hair that's growing out so rapidly in between groomings, it tends to poke the eye ducts and the eyes, causing lots of tearing, causing all that tearing to come down into the face and under the eyes, developing a lot of gook under the eyes. And if let go too long, can cause a lot of matting under the eyes. You also have to watch out for matting throughout the dog, because they have rapid hair growth. So 2 very, very common problems is tearing under the eyes and matting.
They also have the sanitary clips become big to-dos with Shih Tzus, or they can anyway, because since they have so much hair all over the place, you can get a lot of poop stuck on the butt. You got to upkeep that. It's always a good thing whenever if you're walking your dog and they take poop. When you get a chance, just give a quick inspection to the butt area, because if you don't notice it, I know it's gross, I'm sorry, but if it was a little runny, you won't even notice it, and it'll just crust up, and then you got it. So sanitary clips can be pretty tough with the hair on the butt, and then especially with the little puppy boys, this happens a lot, and even pretty much all throughout their life, but I see a lot in puppies. With the pee, they'll get like pee on their belly. Again, I see it a lot in puppies, and it's a big challenge with puppies, because you're just starting to introduce them to grooming, and now you got to get clippers on the belly, and that's an advanced grooming move for a dog to know. So the Shih Tzus, they have that. The sanitary clips all around are a little bit more, or can be a little bit more of a challenge if you don't really have like a keen eye for that hair crusting up, whether it be from pee or poop or
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. So sanitary clips. So with that being said, how are we going to rate their grooming difficulty? And what would you give them?
I'm I think I'm gonna go 7. They're Shih Tzus are kind of up there. They're for as common as they are, and so many people have them. It's kind of why we see in comments a lot when we do at-home grooming tutorials, and the Shih Tzu clips that we do are like real short. They don't look anything like the what's the book? Kennel book.
Oh, the AKC?
Yeah, they don't look anything like the AKC book pictures with the real long skirted hair that brushes over the floor and all that. People are like, oh, what'd you do to that dog? And it's like this is just an at-home grooming tutorial. Shih Tzus are they're kind of difficult. They kind of come in like not all shapes and sizes, but some are real small, some are a little bit more closer to mid-size, and all the face stuff. There's a lot goes into it, more than you might think for a generally small breed. They pack a punch. I'm going 7.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with 7 also. Yeah, so definitely do that. Sanitary clips, everything we mentioned there, it'll definitely help you. Okay, so number 2 on our list is the Pomsky. Seeing a lot of Pomskies. Again, no mystery there. They're adorable. Of course, people are going out there buying these beautiful blue-eyed, half Pomeranian, half Husky dogs that are just absolutely gorgeous. They're so cute. They're playful. But again, a couple of problems with the Pomsky is because of that double coat, right? You're going to have some tools on hand. You need some brushes, some rakes, some combs. You're going to really do a lot of brushing and more raking than anything. So, it can be very difficult as Pomskies tend to develop that undercoat and that double coat. You're really going to have to maintain them by raking out and brushing. You don't want to do it too often, though, because you don't want to over rake a Pomsky or a Husky or any double-coated dog, because they do definitely require that undercoat. It protects their skin, and if you over-rake them, you will tend to thin out their coats too much, and it's just not good for them. So I would recommend maybe no more than every 8 weeks. You want to do a rake out, no more than that. But at home, you really want to pay special attention to getting that undercoat out, because if you let it go, then you got a problem on your hand, because it's going to get too thick and they will mat up underneath, and you don't want to have to shave these dogs down. They tend to not do too well with like a buzz down. So definitely rake on regular schedule and brush out.
Yeah, you don't want to buzz down that coat too, because it's so beautiful. The Pomskies have like these beautiful, beautiful coats. The thing is with that's what's so beautiful about Pomskies is they're just tiny little huskies. Like, they look so cute.
Yeah.
But the one of the big issues with Pomskies is that husky in them, man. Oh man, is going to very often anyway lead to the bath whiner. Huskies hate getting baths, and I feel like that is in Pomskies too, in full force. And every Pomsky I've ever bathed in my life, just like Huskies, I've met one Husky in my life that didn't mind the bath at all. And then she was 70% wolf. So go figure. But what was she? Shy. Yeah, she's so beautiful.
She was gorgeous.
So I wish I had a picture of her.
We do have a picture. I'll dig it up.
I got to try to dig that up for you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, that trickled down to the Pomsky, and the problem is Pomskies are much smaller, so they're like kind of quicker, and it's like just heed that warning. If you have a Pomsky, try to be patient with the baths. You're gonna get wet.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to get more wet than the dog, if that's possible. and they whine a lot. They really, really don't like the bath. No matter the water temperature, you'd think, oh, it's a Husky. They like being cold. Maybe use cooler water. I tried that. It doesn't work. They just kind of go nuts in the tub.
Sure.
But yeah, it's it's tough.
Yeah, definitely. So what do you rate from a grooming difficulty on a Pomsky?
I think that even though there's less like clipping involved in a Pomsky than there would be, like, there's less hair cutting involved, I think because of the upkeep with the raking and everything you were saying, plus the difficulty of the bath, I think I'm going 7 again. I kind of put them up there.
Yeah.
With
you
the
know
Shih
what?
Tzus.
I have to agree with you. 7 at least. possibly an 8, 7.5, 8, depending on, again, what he just said, how much you're doing at home. If you let the dog go, it could be a 10, to be honest with you. So, yeah, but if you're maintaining groomings, definitely, I agree with a 7. All right, cool. All right, so next on the list is the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. We're seeing so many of these guys. They were real popular back in the day, and they kind of like faded out a little bit, and now they're back, which we love it, right? I mean, a Cavalier Spaniel is just absolutely gorgeous. They're the cutest little dogs because they just are. My goodness, how can you deny a King Charles, Spaniel?
We get yelled at all the time.
Yes.
In the comments for saying it wrong. Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, whatever the hell.
Here's the problem with that, though. Okay, all right. So no one complains about anything except a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel owner, right? Like you could, because if I said a Cavalier, you know what I'm talking about, right? I don't always say a Pembroke Welsh Corgi, right? I just say a Corgi, right?
Pembroke Welsh.
Right. I don't always, I don't always say even a German Shepherd. Sometimes you could just go, Shepherd, but God forbid you say a Cavalier.
Yeah, people don't like that.
People do not like that.
Jeez.
You Cavalier owners out there, you will call us out on that, which, okay, I'm pretty sure I'm saying it right by saying Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. I think if you keep the word Cavalier in a verb form, you'll always remember to say it right, like Cavalier.
We thought we were geniuses because we were like, let's just forget the King Charles part. Let's just call them Cavs or Cavaliers, and then everybody will be happy. We don't have to worry about if the King Charles part is in the beginning or the middle or whatever. And people got mad still.
Oh yeah, everybody gets. But anyway, hopefully we're saying it right. But even if we said Cavalier, you know what we're talking about, right? Those cute little dogs.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Well, what are some of the problems with this? Okay, so they have really, really thick ears, right? The King Charles Cavalier Spaniel. See, I'm already saying it wrong. The Cavalier King Charles Spaniel has those really thick ears. And those cute little puffy Clydesdale feet that they have. Okay, the ears tend to get matted a lot, right? So you really got to keep up with brushing of the ears and don't let the pads of the feet get matted. Stay on top of that to avoid matting, because if you let it go too long, the pads of the feet will get matted, and now you're digging in there with a 10, 15, a 30 blade. You really want to try to avoid any matting of the pads and the ears. And I'm also going to add in on this one the sanitary clips. A lot of the males will tend, because of that, that skirt that they have, will tend to get very messy underneath, and because of their hawk fringes and everything, if they poop, if they have a little diarrhea, it tends to get stuck. So definitely remember the sanitary clips on the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. So but adorable dogs, and just keep up on the feet.
Yeah, that hair in the sanitary area too is already curly, so you're sort of, it's an uphill struggle with the sanitary clips with the calves too.
Yeah.
One thing I'll mention, I'll mention a couple things about calves. They just from my own experiences working with calves for so long, is they are notorious for bad hearts.
Yeah.
So if you do have a calf, one of the biggest things you could do as far as upkeep is do vet visits, not every month or anything crazy like that, but keep up with vet checkups. Have them listen to your dog's heart, because calves and like springers, they just have these I don't know, these testy hearts, and be careful with that. And
absolutely, great suggestion.
Yeah, just it's important. It's checkups are something that a lot of people just kind of forget about. And I've been guilty of it too. Just it's just not something you always think about. You got a healthy pet, you're not thinking of going to the vet. You're usually only thinking of going to the vet when something's wrong.
Yeah.
The ear infections. You were talking about the thick pads and ears. All that water getting like harbored in those ears. A lot of people would think Well, it goes back and forth. A lot of people think, oh, if there's no ear flaps, it won't get infections easily because they're protected. And some people think, well, because the ears are open, the water can come out. Well, so any dog can get an ear infection. Really, I'm not here to talk about that, but they're kind of prone to ear infections. I don't think I've ever met a King Charles or Cavalier that didn't at one point have an ear infection. I don't know about serious ear infections that are chronic and all of that all the time, but they're kind of prone to them. And one weird thing that I was actually, I think a while back I did a dental hygiene video. I don't remember if it was just for dogs or if it was one of our like old comedy sketches that we did, but I had read that they're also prone to early tooth decay.
Yeah, they
apparently
are. And we've noticed that too. It's very weird. If you look at a Cavalier's mouth, they tend to, even at a young age, like 2 years old, you're already starting to see signs of tooth decay. So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, how do you rate on grooming difficulty level from 1 to 10? How we rating the Cavalier King Charles?
Cavalier King Charles. This one, you know what?
What do you think?
This one might surprise you.
Yeah?
I'm going to go lower than a Shih Tzu.
Okay.
And I don't know. You look at a picture of a Cav, and then you look at a picture of a Shih Tzu, you probably think I'm nuts for going lower, but I'm going 6 on Cav. I feel like with it's the body. They have those flat-coated body, the backs.
Little thinner coat.
Little thinner coat up top. And
you're right.
There's a lot of leg trimming and feet trimming and all of that, but the ears also being like super long kind of lets you it gives you some safety, like when you're scissoring up I feel like I have fun trimming Cavalier ears, because they're just I'm relaxed. It's they have such long ears that you could in some of our ear videos you've shown it where you slide your fingers down the ear and you could hold the physical ear and then you see how much hair is left underneath and you could just kind of trim around that and you stay safe. I'm not explaining it very good, but I'm just relaxed. I don't know. I find Shih Tzus more difficult.
Sure, I'm going to agree with you on that too. Yeah, a 6 because there is a lot less to brush out. You have a little bit more of a flatter coat. You do tend to have some thicker Cavaliers, but for the most part, all you have to worry about is like the feet and the ears.
Yeah, exactly. It's focused.
Where the Shih Tzu, I'm going to agree. The Shih Tzu, it's the whole dog.
Yeah.
I'm going to agree. Okay, 6. A 6 on the Cavalier if you're maintaining properly. Okay, so number 4, this is one of everyone's favorite dog nowadays. The number 4 is the French Bulldog. Oh, my goodness. Okay, we're seeing so many French Bulldogs. Why? Because look at them. They're just freaking adorable. They're the funniest looking, cutest dogs I've ever seen in my life, right? Be careful. People steal them. Do not leave your French Bulldog unattended because people try to steal them and they try to resell them. So please, never ever leave your French Bulldog unattended.
Dude,
right? It's just
they do steal them.
It's the world we live in. Just I got to throw that out there.
Didn't they steal Lady Gaga's Bulldogs?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
How do you even do that?
I don't know. I would never want to steal anybody's dog. It's a terrible thing to do. But just watch out for that. Okay, what can we talk about? All right, French Bulldogs, skin problems. It's just skin problems. Definitely skin problems. The nose calcification, that gritty nose growth as the nose starts to dry out. Also ear infections because they got the big pinged up ears. Anytime it rains, water will get in the ear, or if you're bathing a French Bulldog, you have to be very, very careful with water in the ear. They tend to get ear infections. So skin problems, that nose problem, and ear infections.
They got breathing issues too.
Yes,
but because they got that what do they call it? Bullied.
Yeah, they have the bulled nose.
Bulled nose. Yeah, that nose, like their airways are like kind of narrower than dogs with like those bigger snouts, those big, think of like the way a Doberman's nose is. That thing is just massive right on the front. You just complete, like wind tunnels, a Bulldog, poor things they got there all the way up there.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the nose thing.
Yeah.
Like that they have that issue, not the breathing thing, like where it'll calcify.
Yes.
And stuff. Smith & Burton actually makes a great balm for that. Is it for that, or is it for the pads?
It's for both.
For both.
Yeah, it's
okay.
the soothing balm.
Yeah, and then with the skin infection, Smith & Burton has a really good nourishing, hydrating shampoo that you could use on Frenchies. Yeah, the skin thing is that's a big one with Frenchies. They're very exposed.
Yeah.
But hey, real quick, before I forget to tell you guys, if you're enjoying this episode, because I'm enjoying the crap out of this episode, like and subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments what common breeds you guys are seeing, and what breeds you're seeing going. Because I'll tell you one thing: when I first started grooming, I don't know where the hell did all the Shelties and the Collies go? Everybody had Shelties and Collies, and now I don't see any of them anymore. So let us know in the comments, because I know it varies from region to region where you live, so we're curious what you see, because these are 5 of the comments. We could probably come up with 5 more if we wanted to do a part 2 to this episode, which would be pretty fun. But yeah, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, and what's your thoughts and suggestions on any breeds you guys are seeing in your area, like Anthony said. Okay, so how are we rating the gorgeous, funny French Bulldog?
For a Frenchie, I'm going with all it sounded. We actually made that sound pretty bad. We were like skin problems, nose problems, ear infections. But I'm going 4. That's as far as upkeep at home, grooming. Yep. Those are very low on the scale. No dog is easy, but I'm going 4 on a Frenchie.
I'm gonna agree. I was even gonna say like a 3, 4. Because here's the thing: if you stay ahead of the curve on this, you won't have those problems, or there'll be a lot less. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, if you're using the Smith & Burton or any, even the Oat Mela shampoo, if you're staying on top of the skin and you're keeping the ears clean and the nails trimmed and everything, you might have a 3. So yeah, 3, 4. On the French Bulldog. So if you don't have time to spend on grooming on a dog or anything, a Frenchie might be your best bet. They're very low maintenance dogs. So yeah, okay. So getting to number 5. Number 5 is the doozy, guys. We are seeing so much of number 5. It's not even funny. And I'm positive that you're seeing this one in your area too. It is the massive Goldendoodle.
Oh, it's the other side of the spectrum completely. Jesus.
It is the incredible Goldendoodle. Oh boy.
My back hurts just hearing the name.
Okay, but again, there's no mystery there. Why? Because they're adorable dogs.
They're beautiful.
They're beautiful dogs, and they're just such companions, and they're really smart, and they're easily trained, and you got the whole, if you're allergic, the hypoallergenic coat, so you're getting a lot in your Goldendoodle. But what is the other side of that is, guys, you got a lot of extra brushing because they're so massive. I mean, some of them can reach, hundreds, the 110 pounds, a smaller one could be 80, 90 pounds, right? So you got a lot of dog. Brushing out your Goldendoodles like brushing out 3 dogs, 4 dogs. So a lot of extra brushing. If you're not ready for spend a lot of time brushing your dog, the Goldendoodle might not be the breed for you, okay? And it's a lot of brushing simply, again, because of their just immense size. And with their immense size, again, they have lots of rapid hair growth. These guys grow in real quick. 6 to 8 weeks, their coat's just blown out again. So, again, it's just a lot of maintenance here. What's another thing? Just because they're such a big job, cost of grooming. Okay, so if you do have a groomer that's grooming your Goldendoodle, be rest assured you're definitely going to be paying a pretty hefty price to get your Goldendoodle done. And that's if you're lucky enough to find a groomer that's taking on more Goldendoodles, because a lot of groomers are kind of saying no because you can only do so many Goldendoodles in a day. But if you are lucky enough to have a groomer, expect to pay a little bit more money grooming it. So that's why we recommend that if you do get a Goldendoodle or you're set on one, you definitely want to watch our videos, watch grooming videos, and maybe learn how to groom at home. Learn some grooming skills at home so that you can save yourself some money and possibly just groom them at home.
Yeah, that's a really, at the very least, learn how to upkeep a little bit at home. So, two things on Goldendoodles. One, I like what you said. Before you even buy a Goldendoodle, you should probably go to the groomers in your area and just confirm at least one of them accepts Goldendoodles. That way you're not stuck between a rock and a hard place if you can't upkeep your dog at home or it's just too much work and you're just going to, you could afford the expense of taking your dog to the groomer once a month. Secondly, I still would recommend a shorter, low maintenance clip.
Good
like
point.
just
Yes, good point.
Just that way you don't have to worry about it, whether, because if you're and it's not shaved down, you're still shaping a little bit, but shorter, just shorter, because some Goldendoodles, and I understand it, some people keep them real fluffy, and that's a lot of dog. That's a lot of dog to keep up with at home. And in order for your Goldendoodle to remain that fluffy, you got to be brushing that dog a lot at home so that when the dog gets to the groomer can put a snap-on comb on their clipper and work through that coat and shape it for you. Because if you never touch your Goldendoodle at home and you want it fluffy like that, it's impossible for the groomer to get that dog on the table and yank all that coat out. It's just too much coat. And your dog will never let a groomer near it if you do.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So, with that being said, grooming difficulty, Anthony, how we rating the
1,006. 1 to 10. 1,000. God, Goldendoodle. Here's the thing. You'd think I'd say 10, which, if any dog is going to be a 10, it could be a Goldendoodle. But because I'm going to give them a point, because I don't want anybody to think we hate Goldendoodles, because every time we talk about Goldendoodles, we make them sound like a nightmare, because from a grooming perspective, they are. But because they are so easily trained, I don't think we've ever met a Goldendoodle that we couldn't do. They're very, very smart, and they tend to be extremely trainable on the grooming table. So for as much work as they are, a lot of them stand still like statue. So I'm going to go 9. And I would say that's being generous. Goldendoodles are very, very huge jobs. You hit the nail on the head. Why a lot of groomers might turn you away if you have a Goldendoodle is because you could only do so many dogs in a day, and once a Goldendoodle walks through the door, it's like 3 dogs walking through the door. So with all of that, I give them a 9. If I was feeling super generous, I'd go 8. Just because they're so sweet, and I love Goldendoodles, but they're difficult.
Yeah, and you can go 8 based on what we said before, what you're doing at home. So if you're doing some work at home, it can very well be an 8 or a 9. Because when it becomes a 10 or a 1,000, it is when you're not doing anything and you're letting the dog, right? You're just letting the dog mat up. Yeah. That's when it becomes that 1,000, where it's like, okay, guys, this is just way too much. It's out of hand. The dog's completely matted, and then nobody wants to hear, hey, your dog needs to be shaved down, which I think Goldendoodle owners probably hear more often than any other breed. We got to shave your dog down. We got to shave your dog down. Okay, so yeah, we can go with an 8 or a 9 based on the fact that you're keeping them kind of short, that in between cut, like a 2 guard comb, every 6 to 8 weeks, where it leaves a little bit of hair, but it's still short enough for you to maintain and brush out at home. So yeah, 8, 9 based on what you're doing at home, a 10 or 1,000 if you're not. So just take care, do some at-home maintenance.
I love what you said there, that you could turn any dog into a 10 or a 1,000.
That's true.
We've seen Yorkies that are, here's an extra rating for you. Yorkies, I'd give them a 5. They are straight down the middle, especially if you're just doing like at-home stuff, and they're, again, without the long hair. So is it Silkies that have the long hair, or is it Yorkies?
The Yorkies have longer hair. Silkies have they're less hair.
Less hair.
And a little bit more coarse.
So what I'm saying is that, Yorkies, Silkies, they kind of have like a little bit of everything. They could mat, they could not. They have you got to do on the belly. You got all the poop, some ear infections here and there. They got kind of everything. I'll give them they're like straight down the middle. I'll give them a 5. But if you never touch your Yorkie, for example, you just turned a 5 into a 10 because now it's matted and maybe the Yorkie's not going to want to get shaved down or anything like that. So it's I like that. You could turn anything into a 10 or a 1,000.
Yeah. So again, guys, that's 5 common breeds that we're seeing. And again, let us know. Let us know what you're seeing in your area, because it's important. We share the information this way. People know. You might be in the market for a dog, but it's like, you know what? Maybe I can't handle a Pomsky right now. You know what I mean? Maybe I can't handle a Goldendoodle right now. Maybe I'll go with a French Bulldog, or So it's important to share information. But with that being said, just I want to thank you guys for again just tuning into this episode.
Yeah, thanks so much for hanging out with us today, guys. And again, let us know in the comments what breeds you guys are seeing from your areas, coming or going. If you need any help with tips and grooming at home, Upkeep, go on over to our other channel. It's called Grooming by Rudy. Go and like and subscribe to us over there. Also, be sure to check out PetEdge.com. Use promo code Rudy5. Save $5 off of $100 or more on your orders. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care.